possibly what page it's on in the book?
Well, I like your style. I admit that I started learning how to cook in college to get dates, and because I had a pathetic social life in college, I had a very hard time getting dates, and I found that the girls that would always say no if you asked them out, if you offered to cook for them, would at least be curious enough to come into the house. That was very poor in college. I worked a couple jobs for myself through school, so I had to be very selective about what I cooked. And I had escalating meals that they went from very, very cheap up through like the third date. And then the third date, all hell broke loose because I had to spend like $20. And I remember it was sold out rotten Florentine, which is just a fancy way to say fish with spinach and cheese, right? But I called it the closer. The important thing about the closer, in fact, the critical thing about the closer is that most of the leftover ingredients from the closer could go into breakfast. You want to know how many times I made the closer? Once. And she called halfway through the cooking process to dump me. So it was like, I'm trying to pull the ingredients out, I'll save the fish. It was too late. So I was like, I went ahead and cooked it and had it by myself. A glass of wine. Because, wine went into the fish, so, it was leftover wine. And I drank it. And it was like, this is fun without the girl. I think I'll do this more often. I was already doing so much other stuff without the girl. Not a problem. My wife did not fall in love with me. The first thing I cooked her was a steak. Any woman, even women that say they're vegetarians, actually want a steak. The best thing you can do if you're going to date a vegetarian girl, cook the steak. Because the smell of a properly cooked steak, there's only one way to any part of a woman, and it's her stomach, Buster. Steak. A good steak, ribeye, something with some fat on it. And chicks dig meat skills because primarily what they're looking for. At a primal level, what a woman is looking for is a guy that can go out and kill a big hunk of meat and bring it home and cook it. She doesn't bring home the mushrooms. Big deal, okay? She got big mushrooms. But they bring home a big old hunk of dead cow, and sizzling that up in a pan, and then slicing it and feeding it to her while she's in the bathtub.
Mr. Brown, just so you know, we have time for 3 more questions.
I'm sorry, I kind of lost myself there for a minute. Sorry, what was I thinking about? You there? Oh, she's got a question. So you were raising your hand, you were trying to cover your odds. All right. Another girl with a camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like those.
Go ahead.
What was your initial reaction to the Fearless Challenge on Search for the Next Iron Chef of the ingredients involved there?
Hey, did somebody write you guys a note? Bye. We were just going to start giving out prizes. Lock the doors. YouTube lady. I'm sorry. The Fearless Challenge on Search for Next Iron Chef. I thought, wow. Somebody got hosed. It was elimination round. I thought, wow, that's going to be really, 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 really hard. And some people got it easy, and some people didn't so much have it easy. So you think that because he couldn't come up with a really good way to get grasshoppers into his food that he shouldn't have lost? Oh, maybe he should just be on Top Chef instead. Those things were already cooked for one, so all he had to do was get him into something. He didn't have to cook the damn things, and they were done. He could have made cookies. All kinds of things he could have made.
What'd you think of grape leaf, guys?
Hey, did you want to raise your hand to stand up for your new knowledge? All right, you want to accuse? You already taken suck all the air out of her. So go ahead. What you got? What you got?
I want to know what you really thought of grape leaf guy.
Of what?
The guy stealing the grape leaves, taking them all. You didn't look too happy with him.
That's how you play the game. Nobody told me you could take all the grape leaves. I didn't make the rules, lady. I just stand there and talk.
Can
I mean, part of the whole resourcefulness thing is, you gotta be able to do it. Did you lose money on this?
I was surprised you didn't use some other kind of leaf or something. But second half, how did you do this gorgeous transformation?
What transformation? What are you talking about? Oh, wait. Oh my wait, yes, I lost 47.5 pounds since college. I made a stunning discovery. There's this hole in your head, and if you quit putting crap in it, your body gets better. Then once you lose some of your fat, you can actually start exercising without going.
Yeah.
And then it gets better. It gets even better. My transformation came from deciding that I had to treat myself like an addict, which was that diets are usually based on moderation. Well, let me tell you, you don't beat heroin by just doing a little bit. I'm just going to try a little bit. Or cigarettes, I'm just going to smoke half cigarette. No, you do it or you don't. So for me, it was deciding there were certain foods I was not going to have anymore. And I kept a food log for a while before I started the diet, so that I could figure out what I was doing wrong. It was funny. I found out that I had an evil friend in the food world because I would look like all my favorite things. Be like, okay, today I had cookies and cake. And then for lunch, I had, I'd be like, Girl Scout cookies, 1 tube. Ben and Jerry Chunky Monkey, 1 carton. But after all of these things, there would always be a glass of milk. Well, glass of milk. So I realized the glass of milk was the thing saying, go ahead, keep the whole tube, it's okay. So I quit drinking milk. No milk. None. And all of a sudden, it was kind of like, well, who wants to eat a whole tube of Girl Scout cookies if you can't have any milk? And then pretty soon, I said that when I started, I said I could have 1 sweet thing a week. I could have 1 dessert a week. And after about a month, I said, you know what, I don't really need these anymore. And odds are very good, I will never eat ice cream, maybe ever again. You know what? Like Steven Tyler of Aerosmith said, nothing tastes as good as being thin feels. Okay? I can run 5 miles without breathing hard, I can drop and do 100 push-ups, and I have a 30-inch waist at 47 years of age. I'll live without the ice cream. But I have 1 martini a week, and it's big. It's a very large martini. All right, last question. And I'm going to take it from this little guy right up here, because he's standing on his seat, and I know that's got to be bad for the furniture. Go ahead. Hold on, just stand right here. Hey.
Why don't you like red velvet cupcakes?
I got cupcakes.
Why do you like red velvet cupcakes?
Why do I like red velvet cupcakes?
Why do you not?
I don't like red velvet cupcakes because I don't trust anything with that much dye in it. There isn't anything on earth that's that red. And red velvet cake was actually based on devil's food cake, and I love devil's food cake. So I'm like, ooh, why do we need to make that red exactly? You know why? Because it looks great at Christmas time. So I'm like, I don't want food that looks like poinsettias. I just don't need it. And as for cupcakes, cupcakes are great, but I don't need sweets anymore. So I call them muffins now. Thanks very much, everybody. I'll see you on the bookstore.